It's been a long week, right? Are you ready to wind down? Why not? It's time for the Wine Time Fridays podcast with Shelley and Phil. Neither are sommeliers, but both have a deep passion for life, each other, and of course, delicious wine. And now, here to talk about this week over a glass of wine is Shelley and Phil. It's wine time.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Wine Time Fridays with Shelley and Phil on this Friday, episode 181, October 6th. Shelley, happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
It's wine time. So, did you have a good September?
It was very busy September. We were hardly home, right?
Well, I think you're thinking about the Canada trip. That was in August.
Wasn't it partly in September?
I don't think so. Anyway, we've got a lot to talk about.
But we were gone for 2 weeks.
Yeah, not quite. 13 days.
That's 2 weeks.
So we do have a reception wine, and I felt like I wanted to pour this reception wine because it's an Idaho wine from Cinder.
Yes.
Yeah. It's their Viognier. Yeah. No, we can't
Cheers.
toast this. We already did that last night.
I just said cheers.
Cinder Dry Viognier 2022 Snake River Valley.
Look at Lucy.
I know, Lucy's funny. We are also trying out a new platform. We're really nervous about things like this because sometimes they don't work. Yeah. So today is actually Orange Wine Day.
It is. So we're going to talk about green wine, right?
No. That would be on Green Wine Day, where they have a lot of Vino Verde. We are going to have 2 orange wines. And as we're tasting through these, we're going to talk about a lot of things. But this, can you pronounce this? Is it Lune de Sens? It's on your sheet.
It's Lune de Sens.
Oh, I said that right.
Mm-hmm.
It is a. I don't see. Do we have the vintage on there? I can look on mine. 2020. $20 at Total Wine, and it's okay. I'm liking this new camera a lot. There we go.
That's a cute label.
Yeah, it is, and sometimes cute label wines just aren't
good.
very good. We're gonna pour these in our fall.
Spend more time on the
glasses.
label than the wine, right?
Yeah, that's right. So
and these are our fall wine glasses.
that's right.
Let's go jump in the leaves.
By the way,
they're cute. They're from Jody.
Oh, thanks, Jody. By the way, these sort of glasses, a wine connoisseur would poo-poo because they're not clear like the one white wine glasses that we're using. They got a bunch of stuff on them, so
you just have to
have fun.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put this one here.
We were at the Paris Hotel in Las Vegas last week, and they had Eiffel Tower wine glasses, and I almost bought them.
Was so close.
However, I'm like, they're $20 each. I don't know if I really need another wine glass to add to our collection. Lucy.
She is being a punk and a pill. No.
Right, so,
to health, wealth, and abundance, gratitude, romance, and
peace on earth.
So this does have a little orange tint to it.
Doesn't? Yeah, we probably should have put this orange wines in something that you could see.
Well, so
it's not orange though. It's just a little more golden. So
yeah. Do you want to finish up the Viognier and we'll just dump it in there?
No.
Okay. Okay, that's interesting.
I get a little licorice. And so what is orange wine?
Well, I'm going to tell you, but first we're going to tell you this is 70% Chenin Blanc and 30% Melon B.
Melon B. Another different grape.
Okay.
There are so many grapes in the world.
There are. And here's the thing. You'll notice both, we think Melon B is a white wine. Orange wine doesn't come from red wine grapes.
No.
It comes from white wine grapes.
That are left on the skins.
Yeah.
A bit.
So it's kind of an interesting deal.
You're getting this color from the skins and the seeds.
Right. So I do have notes here about orange wine, but they're not shown, of course, because why would they? That'd be, I've got all the stuff for the wine word of the week.
Edit.
Yeah. What are you going to do? But you have some information, I'm assuming, on this wine, on orange wine. It is exactly what you said. They're just not on. It's a white wine grape or grape varietal that is on the skins a little longer, and so you kind of can see that. So it does have a hint. I asked what the difference. I think last week what the difference was between a rosé and an orange wine. And really, there's no difference other than the rosé comes from red grapes and the orange wine comes from white grapes. It is a big difference, but same principle, same model.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's pretty interesting. This is, like I said, $20 at Total Wine, which isn't bad. But they didn't have a whole lot to choose from.
There's not a lot of orange wines out there.
No. We should probably talk a little bit about our trip through Paso before we take a break and get to the next wine, because there's really we had a lot to talk about in terms of who stopped. We went to Rivoli, Tablas Creek, Halter Ranch, Peachy Canyon, Levo, Justin, and Turtle Rock. Last week, you already heard from Tablas Creek. Mm-hmm. It was so fun. And
they were all fun.
We had the Paso Tarantula.
Tarantula.
I hashtagged that.
We didn't scare him away.
No.
And he didn't scare us away. He or she. They go so slow.
Super slow.
It was like this big. Crossing the road.
Yeah. You have very October-ish colors today.
It's October.
I know.
October is my favorite color.
Why is October your favorite color, Shelley?
Because I like the fall colors.
And it's your birthday month.
Well, that too.
So is orange the new October color?
It's the old October color.
But
it's orange wine day, so.
That is. Did you do that on purpose?
Yes. I'm going to say yes. I wear this color a lot.
You do. You look great in orange and blue and pink and red. And,
not blue.
And
no.
I think so.
No blue.
I think probably navy blue.
Let's not argue about that.
Okay. Thank you, Lucy. Lucy agrees with me. So anyway, you will hear in depth. So you did Tablas Creek already, but you will hear in depth about Peachy Canyon and Levo. Mm-hmm. Levo is in Tin City. Justin, which had a great time there.
Downtown.
Yep.
Right in the downtown.
Right in the downtown area of Paso Robles. And then Turtle Rock.
Paso Robles.
We can say.
The correct mispronunciation is Paso Robles.
The correct pronunciation is Paso Robles.
But if you're a local, you'll say Robles.
Yeah, I guess that's stupid. And then Turtle Rock, which is also in Tin City. I'm going to write a blog post about all of our trip to Paso. We'll probably touch on those because, obviously we're going to go in depth on the podcast, but we did some olive oil tasting, went to the barrel house too. All of this was kind of, we've wanted to go to Paso for many years. Mm-hmm. 2020 COVID kind of pushed that out. We were going to have a big birthday party
celebration.
That didn't happen. So we made our way down there, and then we saw the movie from Paso Robles, a documentary, Tin City, and it reignited our want and desire. And Lindsay and Brian met up with us. You will hear them on all the subsequent episodes that are coming up. There will be 4. And it did not disappoint. We will go back. We had a really good time. So that's a little bit about the Paso trip. And then I guess maybe now we should go ahead and take a quick break, or do you want to talk about some food pairings with orange wine in general?
We'll talk about that after we taste the next one.
Beautiful. Welcome back to Wine Time Fridays with Shelley and Phil, episode 181 on this October 6th. Shelley, we didn't talk last week much about your high school reunion, did we?
I don't think so.
We went to a football game.
We went to a football game.
That was a high school football game.
It was pretty cute, and they won, so that's
pretty
always
cute.
good.
Yeah, they had more cheerleaders than they did football players. And we have our next wine, also an orange wine, has a cork. This is from our friends at Lake Cellars. It is a 2019 Liberty Lake Wine Cellars Gewürtzraminer
And you can see the orange in that
wine. Yes, you can. This is a little darker. And Shelley,
it sort of looks like a rosé.
I want you to compliment me for my short pour on the last wine.
Good job.
Thank you. There we go. This is fun. I'm enjoying this. And look, we just put that right there to flank our Wine Time Fridays rating system. By the way, what would you give the first orange wine?
Pleasant.
Pleasant?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think pleasant is a really good rating. Completely different.
I would tell you, but I don't have a glass.
Well, I don't know if mine's that way. Shelley's is completely different.
Oh, it is completely different.
Can't believe I took your wine.
The first one didn't really have much of a nose.
Not really.
Actually.
No.
This one definitely.
This one, absolutely.
And then you can
tell.
Smell the gorts.
Yep. Hashtag. Cheers. I like this new system, Shelley.
Mm-hmm. That's different. Really different. I think this one reflects better about what an orange wine is.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to have a little bit more weight and depth than a typical
What's
rosé.
The alcohol on this before?
Oh, that's a good question. Let's take a peek at that. The alcohol is 750 ml.
Yeah.
13.2.
13.2.
Yep.
How about the first one?
Yep. It's on your side. I'll let you check.
12.5.
Okay.
I would have expected that.
Yeah, they're kind of both in the range. Everything seems to be just a little hotter these days. I really do like this label too.
This is 100% Gewürz.
Yes, and we have some notes on this from Liberty Lake. We're not going to acknowledge Lucy. The skin contact comes from the 1978 plantings of the ranch at the end of the road vineyard. Now, check this out. They say the aromas jump out of the glass. They do. Mm-hmm. With notes of, do you pronounce that lychee? Lychee. Ginger and floral.
I only had lychee once. And that was, I think, at a Hawaiian luau.
Really? Full-bodied. Perfumed flavors follow.
Very perfumey.
Yeah, it carries with bitters on the finish. Now, they also use this to make mulled wine, and they're going to do that this holiday season because they have some cases of this left over. This is an $18 bottle, but they're going to be reselling this for the Spokane Winery Association's Association. This is really only this is the only wine I've had today, and I can't speak. The Spokane Winery Association's Holiday Wine Fest, November 17th through November 19th. But I wanted to talk quickly about mulled wine. I don't think we've used that as a wine word of the week, so we're going to push that a little bit down the road. But I will say it's a hot, spiced wine that is typically consumed during the winter months. It is made by heating red wine, typically, but this is not. With a variety of spices such as cinnamon, cloves, nutmeg, and ginger. Citrus fruits such as oranges and lemons are also sometimes added. Marla down at Coeur d'Alene Fresh does a mulled wine, and it's always available like around the Thanksgiving Day or the lighting parade the day after Thanksgiving.
And you can usually find mulled wine kits around Christmas at your little boutique stores or a lot of times at craft fairs, people will make some of that.
This is really good.
So food pairings for this.
This would be different.
These are totally
Yeah,
different.
they'd be completely different.
So the first one, I would say charcuterie with the light cheeses and olives. This one will stand up to more substantial things.
Yeah, well, almost like a smoked salmon.
Yeah, I think so. Smoked salmon.
I did that.
Roasted chicken.
Oh, yeah.
And pork chops, depending on the sauce, like with that. I think pork chops with some kind of citrus sauce. I would add that too.
It's pretty good. A little bit about Orange Wine Day. It's only been around for 5 years. This is the 5th year. It was founded in 2018 by The Real House Wine, an online retailer. The goal of the holiday, of course, as all goals are, well, first marketing, but
it's bring more attention,
bring more awareness of orange wine and encourage people to try it. So use the hashtag, which we will be National Orange Wine Day. And then let's talk a little bit about the Naked Wines Wine Word of the Week.
Okay. Extracted.
We kind of, when we were doing our research for the Paso wines, specifically Tablas Creek, we were in the car a long time, and they kept talking about the over-extracted wines of Paso Robles, and that's what they were kind of known for. And so I wanted to dive a little bit more into that, because I don't think extracted in and of itself is a bad thing. Oh my gosh.
Lucy wants to play.
What is up with... Oh, Shelley just hit the dog.
Sorry.
We have to go to
the there you go, Lucy. Come on. Just sit here and be a good girl.
Oh my gosh. This has gotten out of control. We're going to lose all our sponsors or gain more. Anyway, so in the wine world, extracted refers to the process of drawing out flavor and color and tannin from the grape skins, pulp, and the seeds and the stems. Okay, so it's done through a variety of winemaking techniques such as maceration, fermentation, elevation, perpetuation. I just got on a roll with all the Asian words. And aging. And aging. The amount of extraction that occurs in a wine will affect its flavor, body, and structure. So highly extracted wines tend to be full-bodied with bold flavors and tannins, and the less extracted wines tend to be lighter-bodied with more delicate flavors and tannins. So anyway, I think that sometimes winemakers might want to, it's kind of like that thought, this is really good. If this is really good, why not? More is better. Yeah. And so and that's not always the case. So when they talked about Paso Robles wines, it was the jammy, over-extracted wines, which I guess is on one side of Paso. The west side of Paso is a little bit more the art of winemaking. So that's a little bit about that. But, honestly, these wine words, many of them we have to look up and educate ourselves. So that's kind of fun.
We know, but we want to teach the correct meaning.
You know what I'd like to talk about right now?
Wines you enjoyed this week.
Nope. The Wine Time Fridays Charity Sips, a toast to good deeds. This month, we're talking about the Rad Camp. And it is a charity, right?
It's a nonprofit.
401(c)
nonprofit.
We think
it's a camp for developmentally disabled people.
And challenged.
No.
They're not developmentally challenged?
Developmentally disabled.
Oh, completely disabled.
Developmentally delayed.
And you know a little something about this camp.
I do, because it's my daughter's nonprofit. My daughter and her friend Megan started this nonprofit because they were working at the Catholic Charities camp when they were in high school, and they decided that they wanted to increase the number of people who were able to come to the camp, and they couldn't do that in the format it was in at that time. So they started a new one, and they just released some of the waiting list off of the off the waiting list to be able to go to camp next year. And now all of a sudden they have 300 more people on their waiting list.
Wow. Check the show notes out. You're going to get
So they're currently raising money in order to do that. They already have a couple of hundred campers, and each camper has at least one volunteer that stays with them the whole time at camp. And camps for the adults are typically a week.
Yeah, that's the one we helped with.
Brad Jr. is a little bit less than that, but everybody has good supervision. There are RNs working there the whole time, 24/7.
Is this designed to be no cost for the families?
There may be a small cost for the families, yes.
Okay, but small. I mean, they want to keep the cost really low, and this is as much for the campers as it is for the caregivers.
It gives the caregivers some well-needed respite.
Really well-needed respite. For those who have actually been a caregiver, you realize that's a 24/7 minimum job. Shelley, when you were taking care of your dad, you would have 5 hours in a week where someone would come sit with your dad so you could go and do the, luxurious things of life, like shopping.
Grocery shopping. Errands.
Yeah. So it really, look, caregivers, they're doing this out of their heart, the love in their heart, but it doesn't mean there's not some energy expelled and challenges involved and all of that. Why is your phone sound on?
I don't know. It shouldn't be.
That I'll take out. So good job, Katie. Good job, Megan. Keep on doing this. It really is a passion. In fact, I will share this, that Katie met her husband at one of the camps. And
one of the camps at that camp.
One of those camps is what I meant to say. And knowing that he shares a love for those that are challenged and delayed, differently gifted, which is absolutely true. What is it? Katie does not like the term.
Let's not talk about that.
Okay. But anyway, and then they have 2 kids of their own that are special needs. Yeah. And so they really do walk the walk, talk the talk, and go through life that way. So a big kudos shout out to Rad Camp, and yeah, good job. So now we can talk about wines we enjoyed this week.
It's radcamp.org.
Yeah, and they'll be in the show notes. I also want to, before we get the wines, I want to mention this coming Tuesday, October 10th, there is a Silver Oak tasting dinner, I guess, a Silver Oak dinner at Beverly's. I'm guessing today's the 6th. It's happening the 10th. It's probably sold out. But Silver Oak, a really renowned Napa winery that is pretty dang good. And then I also want to say, announcement. No new sponsors, but we're announcing that we're going to give you our top 3 wines whenever we don't have a guest. Okay. When we talk about the wines that we enjoyed this week, we're going to have the top 3.
But not this week, right?
Not this week, because I couldn't get the sound together. But it's kind of, the model is off of the Gary Hoffman and Shannon Farron model from KFI 640, Eye in the Sky. Oh, sorry.
Not Eye in the Sky.
No, but they say that.
Well, that's when they have the helicopter up there doing traffic.
So we've been listening to a lot of 640 KFI, but they do this thing where they have the news stories. I think they have the top 6 or 7 or 8 or something, and they have a number for everyone. I'm going to put together little sound bites. It's going to be kind of cool, but since we just got back from how many days on the road, didn't do it. So we are going to do that starting November 17th, give or take.
That's a long time.
It's 5 weeks away, but that's
right. So
wines that we enjoyed this week.
Yes.
Let's talk about those.
Rivora Reserve Cabernet Franc, Terre de Talamo Vento Forte Vermentino.
We had that with Lindsay and Brian.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It came from Italy. They picked it out in Italy.
Yeah.
La Playa Carmenere,
which we love.
Nova Vita Firebird Cabernet Sauvignon.
We found that down at a grocery outlet.
We did.
And we forgot to bring more.
More.
Stupid
That's
us.
Disappointing. It was good. Cellars Chardonnay, and Clos d'Argentine Reserve Malbec.
Which we still love. I was going to say what I didn't put on this, some of the wines we enjoyed are wines from Tablas Creek, Halter Ranch, Peach Canyon, Levo, Justin, and Turtle Rock, and Riboli. Because those are all wines that we had. We didn't really discuss with Tablas Creek last week, but this is the last time you get only us for the next 5 weeks.
They're like, thank God.
Yeah, right?
Thank God.
Well, you will get us at the beginning and the end, and then we're going to interject the other.
What to expect next week?
Tell us.
Paso Robles, Part 2, Peachy Canyon.
Peachy Canyon. Yes, we met
Which was
with
very fun. Awesome.
the winemaker. That's fantastic. And then some announcements.
Pinotage Day on October 14th. Austrian Sect.
I think it's supposed to be Austrian.
Oh, but that's not how it's spelled.
No.
Austrian Sect. International Mavrud Day.
Yep.
On 10/26. Carignan Day on the 26th also. World Champagne Day on the 27th. International Zino Mavre Day on November 1st. And
we'll be continuing
the
Paso.
talking about Paso Robles series, and then we'll have Sarah and Mark Lathrop of Liberty Lake Cellars.
That, I believe, is November 3rd, 2 days before my birthday, 5 days after Shelley's birthday. Is that right?
I don't know.
Or 10 days apart. I can't remember. Anyway, a special thank you to Jake Bookwalter Wines and Bottle Joy as today's sponsor with a little bit of knowledge. And we brought some with orange wine. A little bit of knowledge. Wine becomes a lot less overwhelming. Have an awesome weekend. Thanks for joining us. See you next week when we talk Peachy Canyon.
Thank you for spending part of your day to wind down with Shelley and Phil. Remember, you can listen to any episode of the Wine Time Fridays podcast by visiting winetimefridays.com or wherever you get your podcasts. And join us on our Wine Time Fridays Facebook page, Instagram, or on Twitter, which is @VintageTweets, for daily conversation. Until next week, here's our toast to you. To health, wealth, abundance, gratitude, peace on earth, and of course, romance.